We all have questions.
What is it that hinders me, stopping me from getting to where I want to go?
Find the answers on The Dani Johnson Show.
You can't reach for anything if your hands are still full of yesterday's junk.
Keep moving forward with Dani Johnson,
so that you can get to the destiny that you're after. There is another way to live, my friend. There is.
This is The Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to The Dani Johnson Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, you're going to have the opportunity to maybe learn some business strategies or tips, or even to learn how to see opportunity through social media, of all things. You know, social media has changed a lot of people's lives. It's changed the way we do business today. It changes really the way we live. There's positives and negatives to social media. And yet, you cannot ignore the power of it. And if you are a business person or a career person, you really need to pay attention today, even just as a family person, because we hear the stories, you know, some people being drawn into relationships that they shouldn't be in through Facebook. We hear about the woman who found her high school sweetheart, even though she's been married for 25 years and had 6 children, but found her high school sweetheart during a troubling time in her marriage. And then she leaves her 6 children and her husband, and she goes off with her high school sweetheart that she reconnected with on Facebook. So there's some positives and there are some negatives, but I want to kind of, you and I, have an open discussion about it. And you as a human being, that you actually literally have your own website by having Facebook. Facebook can be an amazing place to lead generate. It could be an amazing place to meet people. It can also be an amazing place, like one of our Facebook friends, Tanya Briggs, who her biological family found her on Facebook. She was praying for the opportunity to meet her biological parents and to find out whether or not she had siblings. And sure enough, they found her through Facebook. So there's so many awesome stories that come, but there's also things to be aware of. Do you know that you can actually get fired because of what you post on Facebook? So today is going to help you actually keep your job or make more money on your job, or maybe even create an opportunity for you, as well as if you are marketing anything, whether that is you have a pet business or you have a construction business or a restaurant or you sell clothing. Facebook is a powerful place to do that, as well as other social media places. But listen to this, because here's the facts. And myself as a business person, when I read facts like this, it just makes me go, hello, this is a gold mine. Time magazine reported that of the American adults who use the internet, so just think about that picture right now. We're talking tons of people. We're talking tens of millions of people who are on the internet. So of almost 3/4, it's 67%, 67%. So 2/3, okay, of 2/3 of all the adults in America, are you ready for this? 67% of them are on Facebook. Out of everybody that's on the internet, all the adults that are on the internet, 67% of them are on Facebook. That's a powerful, almost search engine. There's so many opportunities that if you've got that many eyeballs and that many people going to one particular website to catch up on what? The latest gossip on everyone, really. Or they're looking for something. They're getting some kind of a need filled, if you will, because of what social media actually brings. But check this out. 10.5 billion minutes each day is spent worldwide on Facebook. 10.5 billion minutes each day worldwide. Think about that for a second. That is a lot of time that everyone is on one place, which creates awesome opportunity for you as a business or career person, or it actually hurts you greatly as a business or career person. It can hurt your finances greatly if you don't know good strategies on how to use that platform for your benefit. It also can hurt your future career as well. I'm going to tell you right now. We have several positions that we're hiring for right now in our office at DaniJohnson.com. And we, as employers, will always look. When we see applications that come in, we search out people's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. We search it out. Why? Because people are always, when they submit a resume, they're trying to sell themselves to be a certain way. They're trying to present themselves in the best possible light. But employers are actually being able to save themselves from hiring poorly and making a huge mistake for their corporation or their small business by simply looking on Facebook and Instagram to see, how is this person really in the background? How do they conduct themselves? What kind of character issues do they have? What kind of interests do they have? Because we can actually see through social media what your personal brand is. What is your personal brand? Are you the brand that says, I hate my boss, I hate life, I hate my work? Are you the brand that is constantly sharing half-naked pictures of women all through your Facebook page? Are you somebody that is dropping F-bombs in social media places? Are you someone that is arguing through a news feed with other people on Facebook? You see, Facebook exposes who you are, how you react, how you treat people, the things you like. Yes, the things you like and the things you don't like. One time I was working, I actually taught a class on social media. It's called Social Media Empire. And I had this man that, had told me that he was building his business because he just wanted to share the gospel. And it was so interesting. Right away, I looked him up right while I was coaching him, and I looked him up, and I said, that's so interesting. I said, because your Facebook cover photo, as well as everything that is on your wall, has to do with money. You have a picture of a jet and you standing next to a Mercedes. You have pictures of everything that is greed motivated, certainly not gospel motivated. And I said, friend, if you really are about sharing the gospel, then please tell me why you are sharing the gospel of Mammon, the god of greed. Please tell me why. Because you're misrepresenting your own brand. So either you're lying to me with what we're at the point of why you're in business. Right now you're lying, or you certainly aren't going to catch the fish that you want with what you're promoting there. So anyway, bottom line is that you really do have a brand, and that's what Facebook has actually positioned you for. You have created your own brand, pretty much like your own website. And so today on the Dani Johnson Show, we're going to actually be having callers calling in, sharing how they use Facebook, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what are posts that you are actually attracted to, what is the main source of what you use it for. And this is going to be an awesome case study for this 2 hours to see what is it that is drawing us, human beings, 7 billion people, to spend 10.5 billion hours every single day on one website. 10.5 billion hours, 10.5 billion hours, 10.5 billion minutes every day from 7 billion people on the planet, spending 10.5 billion minutes every single day on one place. What is our fascination with it? What is it that we are gaining from it? And what are some of the negatives that you're experiencing from it? And I even want to hear maybe from some of you parents, what are some of the trouble that your kids have gotten into as a direct result of that? We've got to be wise with this new age of technology. We've got to be smart. We've got to be as gentle as a dove, but as wise as a serpent. So my phone number is 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. Recently, when I was in San Antonio, Texas, they had some major thing happen inside of their hotel, and it brought up a conversation as I was talking with some of the general management of that hotel, and it's a very successful hotel. And interestingly enough, they put in a policy over this last year they have a Facebook policy now in their policies and procedures in their manual for the employee manual. And what it is that if any employee, whether it is the janitor, the housekeeper, the chef, or somebody in management makes a negative post about their job, make a negative post about the people they just met at the hotel, if in any way, shape, or form that there's anything negative said about coworkers on Facebook, about the brand of the Hyatt Hotel, of anybody saying anything about some of the guests that were staying in the hotel, anything that would be derogatory or share any kind of discord, the Hyatt Hotel actually has Facebook and Twitter and Instagram police, if you will, and they are policing the employees' Facebook pages. Now, it works like this. They have obviously a system of being able to flag anybody that is employed there, and if they say anything that has a certain set of words or whatever, rhythm of what they're saying, they get fired immediately. And those employees know it when they get that job. They sign a document saying that if I say anything that is sowing discord in any way, shape, or form through social media, I'm out of here. And so look at that. And that's wise by the Hyatt. They are protecting their brand. Now you might say, well, that's ridiculous, Dani. I mean, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be trying to control people like that. Hold on a second. How many people is the Hyatt Hotel responsible for providing for? People always have the wrong perspective. It's amazing to me. You see, when you're not at the top, you're seeing things from the bottom looking up, and all you do really see is how you benefit. But you see, the Hyatt Hotel is responsible for generating billions of dollars to pay for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of worldwide employees, who those thousands upon thousands upon thousands of worldwide employees are providing for thousands upon thousands and tens of thousands of children that they're providing for their own families. So if the Hyatt Hotel had something come against them by way of something that went viral by one employee, or let's say this, and this is they say we have one of the basketball players from the Miami Heat staying in our hotel, and one of our housekeepers says, you know, LeBron James is an XYZ, can't believe what a jerk, bam, that hurts LeBron James's brand. And then he can sue the Hyatt Hotel because it came from somebody over here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So literally, they have to protect their employees. It's not about control. It's about protecting the livelihood of the tens of thousands of people that they are providing for every single day. You see, there's such a 98% mentality concerning jobs. People who work in jobs have a tendency of thinking, serve me, give me, I want. Versus, how do I help this business to succeed? And how can I help to protect this brand? And how can I help it to grow? And how can I grow with it? Well, if you are spreading negative news about your boss or about the brand in which you represent, then guess what? You're hurting your own paycheck. You're hurting your own paycheck. You're hurting your ability to move up. You're hurting your children's future because you are not moving up. Do you understand? So I actually agree with Hyatt's policy. In fact, we might be adding a policy even within our own. And why? We believe in a culture of honor and respect. And yes, people lose their marbles once in a while, and people get short with somebody else once in a while. And you know what? If someone decides to go on Facebook and tarnish a brand, that hurts everybody's livelihood. This is Dani Johnson. I'm going to take your call right after this concerning Facebook.
Stay right where you are for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Let me ask you something. How many weddings have you been to in the last year? A bunch, right? Think about it. Wedding bells ringing, champagne flowing, and the bride looking like a model on the biggest day of her life. So that's where there will always be a need for skilled hair and makeup professionals. Why couldn't that be you? The key is getting the right training. XMHBeauty.com does workshops giving that training. Xtina Harmsworth has a track record of results as a professional makeup artist in Hollywood, working with some of the biggest names. One makeup artist recently had the confidence to book 3 weddings after attending Xtina's workshop, and then reported that she handled 7 bridal clients on location in one day. That's serious cash. You don't have to move to Hollywood to make serious cash as a makeup and hair artist. Go visit XMHBeauty.com today. Again, that's XMHBeauty.com. So get to that site immediately and start following your dream. XMHBeauty.com. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
Hello.
Improving the quality of your life. The Dani Johnson Show.
I love it.
We're supposed to be connecting with people. People love to connect with people. And you know, when Facebook first started, lots of people had different opinions. But I'm telling you what, I saw it as something as incredibly dangerous. I'm always that person. Like when the internet first started going crazy and my husband was just right on the cutting edge of that wave, I was like, it's evil, it's bad, it's terrible, right? I was that person. I was the full-on ignorant idiot at that time. Obviously, I've come around the table and I can see that there is, yes, some terrible negatives, but there's also some very great, powerful things that can happen as well. We're talking about Facebook today. How do you use it? What is it that stimulates you about it? 844-200-3264. Are you one of the 67% of the of all of the American adults that are on the internet? Are you of the 67% that is spending time every single day on Facebook? 10.5 billion minutes every day is spent. Can you believe that? So as a business person, that's a ton of opportunity, my friend. It's a ton. But how can you take advantage of that opportunity and use it for your benefit and be aware that Facebook could actually hurt your reputation if you're not wise and responsible with the communication that you have? I've got Anna on line 6 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anna, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Yeah, I love Facebook, Dani.
Tell me why.
Laugh. I see so many, funny things and encouraging things, and it is a bright spot in my day when I get to see something that someone's posted that makes me laugh or smile or just uplifts me. I also really like it for news because I get access to news that I'm interested in, and I don't necessarily watch the news or read the newspaper, but I can kind of pick and choose what news I actually can receive by subscribing to stuff.
So tell me, Anna, what kind of things do you subscribe to? Because, again, I love this because me being able to talk to you and everybody else that's going to be calling in, I want to learn and see what is it that people are subscribing to. What is it that is making a difference in their lives? Or like you said, it makes me laugh. I like finding funny things that are on there or specific news things versus, right, we have to sit through hours of news on a television, which I will not do, have never done. Right. But, you got to sit through boring, and try to find a story that actually appeals to you or that you actually care about. And so what are some of the funny pages, the things that make you laugh? Because I agree with you. People need to laugh, and they want to laugh. And I do see that some funny Facebook pictures or quotes can make people laugh. I think I don't do enough laughter on our page, actually, now that I think about it, that you're saying that. I don't.
Well, I love God Vine. Those stories are always uplifting, and they're not, the tragedy of the day. I love God Vine. I love all the funny animal videos and the funny baby videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also very pro-life, and so I get a lot of my pro-life news about what's going on in, the kind of battle that we're fighting in our country, pro-life versus abortion. So I'm kind of in touch on that, have my finger on the pulse on that because it's very important to me.
Awesome.
But like you were saying earlier about values and priorities and interests, that's also one thing I really like is because there are certain people out there that have values and priorities and interests that are similar to mine. Mm-hmm. And based on what they post, I can actually find that out about them and, share things with them, and they can share things with me. And maybe we would have never even talked about that in person.
Right, right. So you can actually kind of decide what kind of birds you're flocking with. using Facebook.
Exactly.
And just paying attention to the things that you are currently interested in. That's really awesome and helpful, especially for any business people that are listening right now. I just learned something for sure. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing that with us. I really appreciate your input. You know what? Okay, again, I'm making a note. People do want to laugh. And so what? You might be saying right now, but how does that apply to my business? Oh my gosh, it so applies to your business. You see, you can attract people to your page. And your page represents a brand. And people may not ever hear about your website any other way than through Facebook or somebody sharing it through Facebook. But part of the ways that you can attract more people to your page is to put at the end of the hook what people like. And people like to laugh, and people need to laugh. And so I know for me, I just got convicted. I'm like, darn, I say it all the time that people need to have fun. They need not to be so serious. But my Facebook page is a little too serious. Yeah, I think daily. Yeah, we encourage people a lot on our Facebook page, but I think we need to be more fun. All right, that's awesome. Anyway, I'm always looking for your input. I want to hear, what is it that you are drawn to with Facebook? How are you using it for your business career? Or have you gotten fired from the job because of something you posted on Facebook before? I'd love to hear from you, because someone needs to hear that. Someone needs to know they can lose their job based on what they're posting. 844-200-3264. Leave us your comment if you get the voicemail. We're going to take your call right after this.
Dani Johnson says you can make great things happen in your own life.
Let's go. This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your freedom, your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Time is money. And the humans on this planet are spending 10.5 billion minutes every single day on one website. Wow. That website is Facebook. Powerful phenomenon. And it's teaching us something about our culture today. It's teaching us something about people and business. It's teaching us something about the wants and the needs and some of the strengths, as well as even some of the goals. It's showing us how we can tap into different people groups so that we can be aligned with who we want to be aligned with, versus some of them negative Nellies who just love to rant and be negative all the time on everything that they want to talk to you about. This is Dani Johnson. We've got Gina from Honolulu, Hawaii. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hello.
So how are you using social media?
I'm using it for my business, and one day I was able to write $28,000 in orders in one day.
And that was through Facebook?
It was through Facebook, and I was speaking to the people through gems. So your systems with gems, I was able to speak, to the Ruby, get this product because you'll be the first one on the block, and for the pearls, this product will help you raise money. And so I really spoke the gems, and I was really in total shock because I didn't realize the response I was going to get.
Yeah. So for business versus just throwing out a constant advertisement through your Facebook page, you were speaking the language of the 4 different personalities that we teach from our First Steps to Success, which is called GEMS. So Ruby is what Gina just mentioned. Okay, so they care about being first. They want to be at the front of the line. Yeah. They got to be the first to do everything. So she actually coupled her advertisement on Facebook around that specific personality. And then the Pearl, who is the opposite, they care about charity, they care about raising money, or they care about their family. They care about very emotional type of things, and they care a lot about relationships. So she wrote the advertisement to be customized to that particular personality. And then, of course, the ones, the sapphire, who loves to have fun and they like to do spontaneous things, you can actually write an advertisement that is speaking directly to that. And then our emeralds are the ones who don't do anything spontaneous, but they have to think things through, and it needs to be a wise decision, and you have to sell them the benefits as well as confront them on their risks. And so, Gina, that's really awesome. So $28,000 worth of business in one day on Facebook. Did that shock you? I mean, that's crazy.
I think my husband was more in shock because he said, "What did you do on Facebook?" And I said, "What? I just was trying to talk to people about, the benefits of this product." And he said, "Well, did you know that every order that came in, we asked, where did you hear about this?" And I said, "Gina's on Facebook right now talking about it." And did you know I stayed on there for almost 20 hours answering questions because people just wanted their questions to be answered. And so I met another need there, and then I really showed how our product was amazing for stay-at-home moms.
Yeah. Which is another target market. Now, hold on, Gina. So did you advertise, or you're just saying you built your page, so you tried to make as many friends as possible, and building out your friend list, right? And as you did that, then other people came. And so you had all those friends on your Facebook page, and then you would just make this post about, let's say you're talking to, who we said earlier, the rubies, who want to be first and have, be ahead of the trend, be the first one a part of the trend of buying this particular product. And they responded. So you showed up in their newsfeed, and they responded, and they bought something.
Yeah, and it just went viral because people kept posting every second, and it got up to like 800, comments and likes, and people, it dings on your phone, so people pick it up like, wow, what's the buzz all about? And then they start chiming in, and next thing you know, I had people running to my house dropping off money. It was wild.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And all through your fingertips, literally all through your fingertips, and thinking, okay, how would this personality what would they want to hear concerning my bag? And that's what's smart. And what most people do on Facebook is they make the big giant mistake of always talking about what they are interested in instead of coming from the perspective of the one reading the newsfeed. Gina, I'm proud of you. Congratulations, $28,000 worth of sales in one day from a Facebook post. Using Facebook in that way, that's powerful. And it is important to learn those very powerful communication skills that you obviously have learned here at DaniJohnson.com and taken advantage of that training. So I'm really, really proud of you. Good job. Thanks so much for calling in and sharing that amazing story. Okay, we've got Chad from Naples, Florida. Chad, tell us about your Facebook experience.
Dani, thanks. I'm really glad you're talking about this today because I think it's important, and I think Facebook can be used strategically in a very powerful way if you have a strategy for what you're doing. But I think as a father in particular, I'm always kind of looking at maybe I'm looking at the wrong way, but I'm kind of looking at the dark sides of this too. Yeah. And one that comes to mind immediately was, I always said I was never going to be that father that just came home from work after a tough day and dropped in front of the TV and disappeared into the TV all night. Yeah. And what did I do? I got on Facebook, and I still do the same thing, but instead of the TV, I'm crashing in front of Facebook for the night, and that's not the kind of dad I want to be. So I have to be really careful about that.
Yeah.
And also as a dad, with boys who are coming of age and are wanting to connect with their friends on Facebook, boy, I keep my guard up really, really high. And maybe I'm a little overprotective, but I'm really wanting to be careful. They never get on Facebook alone. They always have a peer, a brother or one of us that's sitting with them. Because there's just, even if we know everybody on their friends list, there's always the potential that something's going to come up that they're just not mature enough to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Chad, I got to speak into that because we allowed one of our sons who had the appearance of being very, very mature and very, very honorable, but you can take the most mature teenager, you can take the most mature and honorable father or mother, and you put them in a situation where they can be tempted again and again and again through different types of messaging, and they're going to fall. I don't care if it's the Pope. and I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but the reality is we are human. And if we put ourselves in an environment where there is no accountability, where we can get into secret places where there are things hidden that will then open up and awaken a part of us that is very destructive, and ideals that are destructive, we will end up on a rabbit hole that is very dangerous. So, Chad, I don't think that you are overprotective, but I gave up in a battle for the Facebook thing, and I conceded to allow our son, who at that time was 13 years old, with parental supervision. However, Mom and Dad were not very consistent with our parental supervision. And what I found was, for a 13-year-old, the inbox was the most dangerous place. The inboxing friends back and forth. And so when I got into it, because again, I have the password for their Facebook page, right? And our kids, only our older kids have Facebook now. Our kids are still in the house. They don't even want anything to do with it. It's hilarious. So when I would go and check, and I didn't check often enough, and that was my mistake as a parent, to keep that accountability and to keep that environment safe for them. But oh my gosh, I found one of my sons in all kinds of conversations and saying, I love you to a girl at 13 years old, and talking about their future together and all this. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So it was crazy. And then not to mention some other things that they encountered. It's real simple to click a link to something that ends up in your news feed as a sponsored link, and it could be something pornographic, it could be something evil. And my sons got exposed in that way. It takes them to one page where it's a girl in a bikini, but then what? Their precious little eyes that are being exposed, and now their body is being awakened to sexual things too young. There's a problem. And so, Chad, I don't think you're overprotective, but the thing that you've said that I think is wise is you never want to be that dad that came home from a hard day's work, sit down in front of the TV, and bam, there it was, no relationship with your family, but you have found yourself doing that with Facebook, and we got to turn that thing off. We need to limit ourselves. We need to be wise with it, but also being protective over your sons and explaining to them why, that Dad's not trying to control. This is about protection. And let me tell you, there's a lot of hidden things within this very powerful mechanism of communication. And so limit the amount of time, and yes, have some kind of supervision, but also you got to set alarms on your phone to spot check any messages. And don't tell them that you're going into their inbox. We didn't tell our son that, but that's where we found the mess, and it was a mess. It was a mess, and it took a long time to clear it up. And the places that my son's heart went by being drawn into that dark place and the exposure to pornography that he had, to then cutting himself, to then having suicidal thoughts. Literally, that's where that entire thing went. He's totally not there anymore, and thank God, and he lives to tell about it. But I think you're being wise, Chad. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more of the Dani Johnson Show right after this.
Dani Johnson says you can make great things happen in your own life. Let's go.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
And now, back to more of the Dani Johnson Show.
We, I think, sometimes make some foolish choices. Have you ever done that? This is Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We're talking about Facebook today, and I just finished confessing about me not being consistent. I wasn't consistent with one of my sons who had asked and begged and showed himself to be very, very mature, but I literally released my son to be eaten by the wolves through inboxing on Facebook. And I'm so grateful for that experience because I'm telling you about it right now. And I encourage, if you're a parent, you've allowed your kids on social media, I would be checking their posts. You learn a lot about how your kid is trying to fit in maybe with the wrong crowd. You hear how they are communicating with people. I remember seeing some of my daughter's Facebook posts when she was an older teenager, but just the way she was writing, no proper grammar anywhere near it, like no capital letters and no and misspelling on purpose. You know what I mean? What's up? Not verse. Sup. Just this slang that now is being typed, and I was not capitalized, but there were no capital letters at the beginning of anything. And I began to look forward in this, and I said, Erica, I love that you're staying very clean on Facebook and everything. I said, but I just want to point something out that I want you to consider. When we get into the habit of typing, like how you're posting on Facebook, that habit then will infiltrate your work life. And when you're in a professional setting, because of the habit of what you're writing on Facebook, that is going to penetrate your professional life. And now there's not capitals where they need to be, periods where they need to be, and there's slang being spoken through the emails that you're sending in your professional life. And I said, so it's really important to not get into the habit of communicating in slang, but instead do your best to be someone that is, I don't know, that you show yourself to be who you are, and don't start a bad habit that could hurt you and cause you to lose your job. So we're talking about different ways that people use Facebook and things that are harmful as well as things that are helpful. Jane from Abbott, Texas joins us now. Jane, welcome to the show. How are you using Facebook for the benefit of yourself or others?
Hi, Dani. Well, I use Facebook to promote First Steps to Success, which is your training event, and was able to get hundreds of people in a year to First Steps using Facebook, and that's using it the way that you've trained us through form, and that's asking questions, finding out about them, creating relationships, and just forming relationships with them, and it's created new friendships as well.
Why would you do that, though? You know what I mean? Why would you try to get hundreds and hundreds of people to go to First Steps to Success, and why would you spend your time on Facebook to do that? You're not paid to do that, is the bottom line.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said you're not paid to do that. Like, you're not an employee of DaniJohnson.com or First Steps to Success. So, I find that so fascinating that you have used your social media influence to promote something you're passionate about.
I am very passionate about First Steps, and the reason is if I hadn't found First Steps and DaniJohnson.com when I did 3 years ago, my daughter today, who is now 20 and a flourishing young woman, would possibly be dead. She was suicidal, and when I learned how to communicate with her and realized that it was our opposite personalities that was clashing, that was causing the problem in the communication, I started to change that. So I'm very passionate about what you teach and what you share with the community, that I want to get people out there because there's so many others out there that are hurting. Mm-hmm. There's marriages that are being restored after learning the skills that you teach. There's kids that are being more honorable. There's businesses that are flourishing. That's a plus. But the main thing is that if I honestly had not found First Steps to Success 3 years ago in March, my daughter would be dead today, and that's why I'm so passionate about getting people there and getting their lives changed.
Wow. So you're saying that you're connecting with people on Facebook to promote a business, finance, and relationship event that you are passionate about. How exactly are you doing that? Like, how in the world did you get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to go to a training event that was wherever it was in the world, just like the one we have coming up in California, Long Beach, California in August? How did you do that?
Well, the first thing I did was I would post the story of me and my daughter, and I would get comments back from different people, and I would just start talking to them and finding out what their need was, and would sometimes I would be able to connect them to an event, and sometimes I wouldn't because they didn't really have a need, or they didn't think they had a need.
Right.
But it was just finding a need that they had and filling it. And I know that there's so many different aspects that you teach in these events. And if I couldn't get them to an event, at least I can get them to the website to listen to some of the free information that you give. It's just been so profound, and it's been life-changing for me. And that's what I would do, is I would post stories, and I'd post other people's stories. And if you want to know more about how they did this, then send me a message. And when they send me a message, I wouldn't go directly into what I was doing. I would form them and find the need, and then I would present the message of First Steps, and that, oh, by the way, it's even in your backyard, and I might be able to help you get a discount. So, are you, just forming relationships. And then after the first couple of times, I had team leaders coming to me because they knew that they could trust me not to cross-recruit them into another business, because I had no business that I was even working to get these people in. It was all about getting them to First Steps and getting their lives changed.
Wow. Jane, I know that you and your husband are farmers, and I know your story. You've written us many times. You've come and visited on this show several times. You guys tripled your income, which is crazy, as farmers. You've had other investments. You've gone down to Belize to help the orphans that are down there. I mean, you not only did this restoration happen between you and your daughter, but you went from a person that couldn't communicate to anybody that now is using Facebook to help change people's lives. That just says so much about what God has done in your life, how you have followed directions, and that you're using your life to help others get out of the pit that you once were in. And that just is mind-blowing to me. I am so encouraged by the woman of character that you are today, and how much you have grown, and how much you have focused, and now what you do with other people's lives. Jane, thank you so much for everything that you're done for the community, not only our community, but other communities as well. All right, so there's another thing, right? So people are using Facebook to promote things, to promote events. And in this case, Jane doesn't benefit at all financially. It's something she's passionate about. She found something she was passionate about, and she's filtering a message out there to the masses that she can connect with to be able to help them. And so that's another place where Facebook can be very, very powerful. If you've got something that you're passionate about, then you want to use powerful strategies with Facebook. Don't just do what most people do, promote on the front side. There is a strategic way to do that, and she just shared with you what that strategic way is to use it. So there is a certain song and dance that you've got to use with Facebook, because here's the facts. People are looking for what they want. They need help in a certain place, and therefore you need to find a way to fill it versus just promoting your thing on there and hoping that that somehow is going to catch them. That's not the way to go. People are on Facebook because they want relationship. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for relationship. They're interested in other people, and they have some specific interests. So you need to use that information to help you serve the general populace, not just try to get something for yourself. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Achieve your goals and change your life for the better?
Tune in, turn it up, listen.
Stay right where you are for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities, and they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week, and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage, and I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
No blaming, no excuses, just real solutions that will really change things. That's real leadership.
When somebody gets into management, oftentimes they feel like they are the boss and now everyone has to listen to me. I think it's important that leadership actually listens to others.
That's real leadership. Real leadership. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
It takes a tremendous amount of self-discipline to make sure that you don't burn hours on social media. Social media is a great and powerful tool that can help you build your career, get better paying positions, grow your business, your brand, and it is also a very powerful mechanism that can hurt your brand, destroy your career opportunities, and get you fired. No joke. It is important that if you are going to use social media, that you use it for what it is there for. People connecting with people and helping to give people what they want. We found out in the first hour of the Dani Johnson Show that people like to see funny posts. They also like to be encouraged. Now, you right there are saying, look, why do I care about encouraging anybody? And why in the world should I post something funny? Because it actually draws people back to your page. And your page is seriously like your own website of your own brand. You are branding yourself and connecting with people. And connectors have high value in the marketplace. I teach this at our business training seminar, First Steps to Success, how to become a connector, because a connector has resources. And anyone who has resources and connections can solve problems really, really, really quickly. And you become more valuable when you can solve problems in the marketplace as well as at home. So we've been taking your call about Facebook, the pet peeves about it, the things you like about it, how you're using it, amazing ideas that we've heard so far. And if you are a career or business person or even a parent, it's important for you to understand the power, both negatively and positively, that Facebook can have on your life, on your family life. Karen from Sacramento is calling in. Karen, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. What's your comments concerning Facebook?
Hi, thank you, Dani. Yes, I am a business owner. I actually have two businesses, and my main marketing, especially for one of my businesses, is Facebook.
Really?
I can't imagine starting a business right now without marketing on Facebook. That would be crazy in my mind. Yeah.
How are you doing that? How are you using, what kind of marketing are you doing on Facebook?
Yeah, so I have my business pages, and I have taken the time to learn the skills on how to attract people to my pages. And some of it has been through the Facebook advertising. And a lot of it, that's the great thing about Facebook, a lot of it is word of mouth.
Yeah.
If somebody reposts my post, then that person has the opportunity to join my page.
Yep.
And so it really just grows on itself. And for very little marketing money, you just have this exponential growth.
Yep.
And so it's been an incredible tool for my business.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think it's funny that you're saying I could not imagine starting a business without utilizing Facebook, right? And what would we have done 5 years ago? That's the thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or 6 or 7 years ago, before Facebook was the actual craze. What did we do? Well, we tried to build business through word of mouth, mouth to ear, mouth to ear. Now we are able to do it fingertip to eyeball. And that is a great, powerful way to do it. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of time at all to do it. I know people that have built pages on 5 hours a week into the hundreds of thousands. Yeah. And you don't have to have a page of hundreds of thousands to run a successful business from it either. So, Karen, hey, what would you say is a pet peeve? What are things you don't like to see on Facebook?
Oh, let's see. Pictures of people's broken legs and things like that. Please leave that at home. And, just the negativity. I don't like negativity. I will unlike your page or anything like that. No. I don't follow any of that.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to address something that you talked about a little earlier, Dani, about how, targeting, and you talk about this at First Step, giving the fish what they want.
Yes.
And to me, as a marketing person, I can test pilot ideas.
Yep.
So if I make a post
for free,
I get immediate feedback.
Yep.
If that post goes viral, I get all sorts of people liking it and I know that's a topic I need to explore. It could be a product I need to explore.
Yep.
And you just can't get that immediate feedback like you can on Facebook.
It's so true. It is. And it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. That's the part that's amazing, is that it's absolutely free to do a quick test market and to see what people are responding to. Yeah, Karen, thanks for pointing that out. Thanks so much for being a faithful listener to the Dani Johnson Show. I appreciate you tremendously. Okay, now listen, on that note, I learned 25 years ago when I ventured out in the business community, one of the things that I learned from the first millionaire I got to study under was this. He said, learn more about people than you do anything else, and you'll be unusually successful. So I've been studying people for the last 25 years, and Facebook is an amazing place to study people. And by the way, all the big merchandisers study you, whether you realize it or not. They do, including the network that is airing this show. They have studied their market, which is you. You're listening. You're watching this, okay? Or if you are, it doesn't matter. Whatever you listen to, whatever television or radio show that you listen to, whatever magazines you buy, that is a study of people. And so those very brilliant people that are making billions of dollars or millions of dollars have an understanding about people. And this is where Facebook has been brilliant, because you see what people respond to. You see what they want. You see what their needs are and how you may be able to serve them and fill that need. Okay, we've got Mike from Miami, Florida, with some comments about Facebook. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani. How's it going?
Good. So what is your take on Facebook, and how do you use it, or what do you hate about it?
So my take on Facebook is, it's a very good promotional tool. It's a really great opportunity to talk about the you brand. And actually just had a conversation with someone about this. I run a business from home, and the person had asked me, are you not in business for yourself anymore? I don't see anything about your products or stuff like that. And I think it's on purpose, because what you want to show is you're a person who helps change lives. And so I think it's a great opportunity to share testimonials of people in your life that you've helped, or maybe people that you meet, how you help them. That is more positive. And Dani, you talk about this, facts tell, but stories sell.
Yep.
So let Facebook tell that story that you're sharing, whether it's you paying off debt or you made some serious life change, you got a promotion at work, anything like that. Yep. And people like good news. They really do. You know what was interesting, though, is that there was another study that was done. I think it was 27%, and Time Magazine was the one that, Time Magazine reported that 27% of the people said that they plan to spend less time because they walk away feeling sad. Whether it is, sad and negative. And so just hearing today on this show, there were several people who said, I hate it when there's negative stuff that gets, and so I don't share negative stuff. I don't subscribe to negative pages, because that's not what people are looking for. They are looking for a place to laugh. They're looking for a place to smile. They're looking for a place to be encouraged, or something that's going to build their faith. And that's important. Stories do. So Mike from Miami, do you have a story that you've shared on Facebook that is your own? Like, what has happened to your life in the last 12 months? Oh, man. Let's see. Actually, I did post a story about this, I think a couple of days ago. But I'm actually, prior to learning about DaniJohnson.com and getting involved with First Steps to Success, 12 months ago, I was actually a person who was overworked. I felt like I was in a rat wheel, kind of turning the wheel and didn't know where I was going, and wound up at the same spot. And since getting plugged in, implementing war and debt, I've actually paid off $157,000 of debt in the past 12 months.
Wow. Not
only that, but I went from a big fat goose egg in my savings account to $32,000 more just by implementing the simple strategies that I learned in war and debt, attending First Steps to Success. I've been brought back to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I have a beautiful bride that I honor and cherish, all thanks to the skills that I've learned and developed because of your training, Dani. So thank you very much for that.
Mike, thanks for sharing that. That's incredible. Now, what do you find that when you share your story about this debt that you've paid off, and now that you have money in savings? Now, again, you don't make money from promoting that, but what has that done with helping to build your Facebook page or helping to build your business?
My goodness. So, Dani, it gives people a lot of hope. I mean, usually the comments are, how did you do that? What did you do? And usually I get a flood of Facebook messages or, I get a lot of positive comments. Yeah. It just really gives people hope because I set the stage where, look, here's where I was 12 months ago, and I developed the Me Too's, as you like to refer to, because there are people right now on your page that are probably in that same position. Yep. When you tell a story like that and they know who you are personally, that's what's going into their mind. Man, why not me? Yep. And that excitement, that motivation, and not only yourself, you're sharing other people's stories that that just creates such a burning fire and desire for that person to know what you're doing. Yep. And that's a great opportunity for you to help change that person's life and improve your own personal endeavors at the same time.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for using Facebook to change people's lives versus, I don't know, posting a half-naked woman picture or the size of your muscles. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys, come on. Or instead of posting the sandwich you ate for lunch, you know what I mean? It's like, let's use this powerful mechanism to give hope, to spread a dream, to challenge people to think differently, and to challenge people to come out of a rut that they might be in. Let's use this powerful mechanism to inspire people to greatness instead of, I just had a tuna sandwich. All right, dude, thanks. Anyway, Mike, thanks so much for sharing that awesome story. Yeah, I know. Those kind of things put us all to sleep, don't they? People who rant and rant and rant. Listen, I've had my share of ranting on Facebook like we all have. And by the way, if you haven't come over to our page, it's 251,000 people who all join a great community, people like Mike, people like Jane that have called in and said that they are a part of that community. You can build an amazing community on Facebook. Our page specifically has a lot of encouragers. It's not just what we post, but it's our community that has all gotten together. And man, when somebody makes a post on there and they say, gosh, I've had a really hard day, you will see 10, 20 people just jumping on that saying, be encouraged, stay consistent, be persistent, I was there. And then they're just flooding them with stories. So if you are that person that you need encouragement and you need to find a new people to flock with versus the negative Nellies that are out there, then come over to our page. It's facebook.com/Dani Johnson Live. So if you type in Dani Johnson Live on Facebook, you'll find us. And I suggest that you get a hold of the freebies, the free book, for example, First Steps to Wealth, that's available if you go to our Facebook page. You can get a copy of this book right now. Anyway, we're going to dive more into some harmful things that you can do that hurts your impact in the marketplace right after this.
Stay tuned for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Let me ask you something. Do you dream about doing hair and makeup professionally? Have you ever noticed that one stylist can charge $20 for a service and another can charge $200 and they're both on the same street? What's the difference? Their skill. One has invested into higher level of skill beyond the basic training that is offered out there. If you want to do hair and makeup, why start at the bottom? You can learn expert skills and earn professional money doing something you absolutely love. That's why I'm excited about XMH Beauty. Xtina Harmsworth has a track record of results, a professional hair and makeup artist working with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. She wants to help you achieve your dreams by teaching you her professional beauty techniques and insider secrets that will set you apart from everyone else. So don't sit on your dream another minute. Learn from the best. Get in touch with Xtina today. XMHbeauty.com. Again, that's XMHbeauty.com. For families in Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, life is filled with fear and struggle. They don't have enough food for their kids, clean water is hard to find, and they're living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel on top of mining tunnels that could explode and sink at any moment. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming this village. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha to see how you can help. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org, and click on Santa Pancha.
And now, back to more of the Dani Johnson Show.
This is Dani Johnson. We're talking about the powerful use of social media and Facebook. And so right now I figured I'm going to pull Raven out from behind the scenes. And Raven actually helps us with our Facebook page, the Dani Johnson Live page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But today we were talking about how we have seen our clients be able to use Facebook to build their businesses, to promote, and even those who are promoting things that they're really excited about, really, really passionate about. And so Raven spends quite a bit of time on Facebook because it's her job to be on Facebook. And yes, that means there are jobs that are specifically just for Facebook. And so there are those kind of opportunities. So if you're one of those that you really love Facebook and you really love communicating through social media and you've been able to build quite a following yourself, then you actually are raising value for yourself as it did for Raven. She raised value for herself in the marketplace by doing such a thing. And she's been with us now for almost 2 years internally. And you were a client for a year before that. And so we would watch her conduct on there. And by the way, when we were interviewing her, I personally went through her Facebook page to see what she had been posting and who she was following and what kind of things mattered to her and to see if it was a like vision. Do you know what I mean? Because you certainly couldn't help me with my page if we didn't have a like-mindedness. So anyway, one of the things that Raven and I have done together, and it's been really, really powerful, is we've raised millions of dollars on Facebook. And I want to challenge you here because you might have something you're passionate about. You know, for us this year, we've got two things that we're running on. Kadwa, Haiti, helping to rebuild an entire village where an earthquake came and just shattered not one home, but 2,000 people's homes. And it completely demolished their water supply. And if you don't have water, you don't have food. Yeah. I mean, it was a disaster. It left a lot of parents without children and children without parents. And so we have found that Facebook has been a really powerful way to be able to raise money for very important causes and to represent the voiceless. Because Kadwa, Haiti has no voice outside of Kadwa, Haiti. We're talking, it's like so desolate and it's so forgotten that, you know, I never knew about this place until I went there. And once I went there, it's like, gosh, I came back with this. I got to be a voice for these people because they don't have a voice representing them or their needs. Literally, people are dying all the time because of the polluted water or the lack of food, starvation, and no protection away from the elements. And so I'm bringing Raven on, and we're going to talk for several minutes, maybe 2 segments, about the things that you can do using Facebook to help promote the cause that you're passionate about, and also things that we see on Facebook that are actually hurting your overall branding, hurting your overall imaging of you as just a mother or a father who you're not a business owner, but I promise you have a brand on Facebook. So let's start with that. So what are things that you see, because you spend a lot of hours on Facebook, and let's say before you even had training with me, before I kind of walked you through how to do what we did on Facebook, because, you know, I'm not certainly an expert on it, but you know, we've done pretty good. But what were things that you see as a user on Facebook that cause you not to want to respond to things?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is logos and like scriptures as the person's profile picture. Because Facebook is like, you want to see someone's face. You want to connect with a person. And so if I go and I'll get a comment or a friend request from someone, the first thing I do is go look on their profile picture and I'll scroll through and we all do a little picture stalking to see what the person's about. And if I can't find a picture of their face, I'm like, oh, I don't know what this person, that's like a red flag to me. And it's still to this day is a red flag for me. Like, I don't know what this person's about. I don't know if it's a spam account. I don't know if, you know, what they're about.
Talk about that. What is a spam account?
Okay, so a spam account is an account set up by someone, I'm not sure who, but just set up by random people on Facebook that they aren't depicting themselves. But they have this account so that they can be active on Facebook, and they go around and they spam people. So whether it's a comment about, hey, buy this thing for me, or if it's a, you know, spreading hate and or pushing some huge religious agenda down people's throat or political agenda, just an account that people can hide behind so that they can post things and say things without being reprimanded or any consequences coming back on them.
Right.
So I can't stand spam accounts, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things. Like, Facebook eventually weeds them out, but it's so many people on Facebook, it takes a while for them to get to it, you know, their algorithms or whatever. But yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you also need to be aware of that. So whenever someone does not put their picture, or they do some like cartoon picture of them, so if you have one of those, if you have a Facebook account or even a Twitter, and that's what you're using, here's one perspective you're being perceived as. So that's something to think about. So you literally might be looked at as a spam account. You might be looked at as someone that is not trustworthy, even though you're thinking your profile picture might be that you're putting a scripture in there. It still is perceived as scammer. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more, helping you succeed on Facebook right after this.
Stay right where you are for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
And I'm so blessed that I found what is in Grooming the Next Generation for Success. This is a book that is being taught in universities around the world. It's been noted as the best book on parenting that has ever been written. Crazy, if you ask me. But the point is that this thing gets results. Get your copy today, 888-757-8880. Again, that's 888-757-8880. Or go to DaniJohnson.com. That's D-A-N-I Johnson.com. Get your copy today.
Giving you the playbook to design your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show. And now, here's Dani.
I hate scams. What about you? We all hate scams. We really, really do. And I know that today I think that the market is a bit smarter than she was 20 years ago. I've been in business for 25 years. I've watched a lot of things change over the last 25 years. And one of the major things is that the powerful play that things like social media, Facebook's particularly, has played in business. 10.5 billion minutes every single day worldwide are spent on one website. That is a huge opportunity for people. And so often we do not realize opportunity that's staring us right in the face. And we also don't realize how we're being perceived in the world and how we're being perceived, especially in places of social media. So joining me today is my coworker, Raven. We call her Ray Ray. Anyway, so Raven, she helps us with our Facebook page. And she's actually one of the police officers on Facebook, because what's another thing that we see happen on Facebook that's actually hurting people?
Oh, man. People are notorious for posting something about buy this product from me. Like if Dani says, "Oh, I'm getting."
Oh, this drives me crazy. Okay, so like health, right?
Yes, health.
So if I will make a post about, okay, I'm in my garden and, like today, I ate zucchini, green beans, and cucumbers straight out of my garden for lunch. I do that because I believe in saving money and taking the money I normally would spend on, as a person who's a multimillionaire, I could go to lunch every day, but I'd much rather take that money and give it to the orphans or help Kadwa Haiti with it.
Yeah, and it's so good, though. Your garden is so good. It's so juicy.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh, you have to grow your own vegetables. It's nothing like eating it straight out of the ground. It's so good.
So when I make this post, there's always those people, especially those people, in those kind of businesses where your friend calls you and they're badgering you to buy some vitamins from them. Those people, we always see in the news feed, "Oh, you got to try my weight loss program. You got to try my health product. Yes. You got to try this vitamin." It's like block, block, block. So if you're one of those, right? Absolutely. And what kind of posts do you see like that?
Man, I see those posts often. So it's never related to the topic too, or it's like just random. Like Dani didn't ask for any help with her health issues. She didn't, or not even issues because you don't have any issues, but she didn't ask for any advice about health or anything like that. And people just randomly just volunteer like, "Hey, take this," not even wanting to fill your needs, because you didn't say you needed anything or ask for any advice or any recommendations. They just shove it. So I think making the assumption that, if someone talks about their weight, like, "Oh, I want to lose weight, I need to lose some weight," but they didn't ask you, "Hey, do you have a way for me to lose weight?" Don't just go up there and stick up your weight loss program that you're selling and say, "Hey, fatty, you need to lose some weight. Here you go." Like that, people take that as offensive and they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that it behooves us, to really build relationships. That's what Facebook is for, is building relationships, not just trying to make a quick sale, not just trying to make a quick buck or spam people and be known as the spammer, and people can't stand it. Like, I know you don't want people to do that to you, so you definitely don't want to do that to other people.
Yeah. So that also to say, okay, so we have a page that's got 251,000 people on it, and we have somebody here that their job is to get rid of all the spammers. Well, there's probably a good chance that there's a lot of other pages that have that too, and you're going to get yourself blocked. If you're coming to social media to just sell your thing, you are not going to have a lot of success on Facebook. You're just not going to see the results that you want. But if you really focus on giving people what they want, but Dani, people want my product. No, you're an idiot if you think that. No, they have 1,000 other options of other products they can buy that are just like yours. And so how you represent your product needs to be people first, and business will always follow. So in that case of the garden vegetable thing, you know, we always have somebody go, you know, get my free, you know, get my free business tips now. Like,
like, what does that have to do with it?
Okay, well, first of all, you're an idiot. We're talking about gardening, and your free business tip, well, I guess it's free.
And it works the same with God, too, though. I see people do that all the time, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but people get so self-righteous and so, like, you know, judgmental, and they call themselves Christians, and they just come and they make all these posts about, oh, Dani, you're so wrong for saying this or doing that. And that's never going to attract someone. Like, you attract people with being kind, you know, even if you don't agree with us or agree with Dani, she respects that, you know, but present it in a way that even if you guys agree to disagree, you can still be friends versus, oh, well, you're going straight to, you know, the workplace and, and, you know, you're just so wrong for that. Oh my gosh, when your grandson got circumcised, it was a mess. A mess on Facebook.
And this is what's so crazy. It's always the same people that are complaining that they have no friends. It's always the same people that are complaining that they're broke. It's always the same people complaining they can't find a job. It's always the same people that are negative and ranting on somebody else's page. Someone is celebrating something and you're ranting about your opinion on it. It shows who you are. It shows your character. It shows that you're a negative Nelly. And on that note of, because there are several stations that listen to the Dani Johnson Show that are spiritual, meaning they are a Christian radio station or a Christian television station. And I'm telling you, wow. Wow. How the Christians and the Catholics and the Presbyterians and the Buddhists, they like, actually, I don't think I've been screamed at by Buddhists, but anyway, they typically don't scream at people. It just seems to be those that believe in Jesus. Anyway, but this does not represent what you're truly trying to share. And so love people. And judging people on social media gets you banned. It gets you blocked. It gets you to be not trusted. And not only that, but we even see it in the comments, right? Where we may post something that has to do with God, and then there are those that get super religious, super legalistic, and then the ones that don't know God, then those people comment, and this is what they'll say. See, this is why all of you people suck. This is why all of you people are nothing but blankety blank blank. Look at the way you're talking to each other here. Why can't you just accept people for who they are?
Like when we had the Noah movie come out. People went crazy, and everybody has their own opinion. That's okay. But the way people talk to each other, and these people were Christians, the people who are non-Christians just sat back and were like, I don't want to be part of that. You don't attract people that way. Like Dani said, love. That's the biggest thing I've learned from you, Dani, is love on people. Love on people. That's going to, you know, genuinely care about people, genuinely find out what their needs are and lead with that. And that's going to help you connect with people. Not this, oh, well, your finances are messed up, so you need this war on debt. You know, you need to stop spending all that money at the mall. That is not going to attract people to you at all. Or, you need a relationship with God. You know, you need to stop sleeping with your boyfriend. Like, that does not attract anyone. It makes people block you, ban you, delete you, maybe even report you to Facebook. And you don't want your account shut down. So.
And some people need to be reported. I mean, that's just it. Hey, listen, today, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to just shed some light in a place and some things that you might be doing that you're not even aware of that are hurting your reputation, hurting whether or not you're going to get that job promotion, hurting whether or not you're going to get a job, period. Because how you represent yourself on social media determines whether or not people want to friend you. You know, we get hundreds and hundreds, actually even thousands of friend requests on my personal page that I keep just personal. And I don't really spend time on my personal page anyway. I only use Facebook predominantly for business. That's it. It's a business tool, and that's it. But anyway, people send us friend requests all the time, and in there, I will click on it and see and look on their wall, go, no. Yeah. Especially,
Drama is a huge one. People talk about, my husband did this, my kids did that, I can't stand my job, I can't stand my boss. OMG. We don't, as you heard from earlier on this show, that people don't like negativity. Yep. It makes them run away. And let me tell you, if you have a job, and we've had I've had friends share with me before that they've lost or almost lost their jobs from things that they've posted on Facebook. When you complain about things like that, and you complain about your family, people think you're untrustworthy, and they don't want to be around you. Yep. So like Dani said, if you're seeing in your life, oh, I don't have friends, I can't get a job, it might be time to take a real look, and no judgment here. Just take a look at what you're doing and what you're putting out there, because you reap what you sow. You'll get it back. So if you're putting people off and you're being negative, then that's exactly what you're going to get back. People are going to put you off, and they're going to be negative towards you, and that's not what you want.
On that note, there's another side to that story, and it is, are you one of those people that never likes somebody else's post? Are you somebody that never makes a comment on someone's post? Are you one of those that just goes and reads, but you go through your newsfeed and you never let somebody know that you're thinking of them? You never let someone know that you saw what they wrote and liked it or said, hey, thanks for sharing that. You're not going to attract friends to your Facebook page if you are not being a friend on other people's Facebook page. It's all about reaping and sowing, man. And people are there because they want attention. People are on Facebook is because they want to be heard, and they feel like the world will hear them if they post something. So this is one way that you can make a friend, by giving them what they want. This is Dani Johnson. I hope that so far this conversation's been eye-opening for you. Go on your Facebook page and do what Raven said. We'll continue with more right after this.
How can you achieve your goals and change your life for the better?
Tune in, turn it up, listen.
Stay right where you are for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Hello. Improving the quality of your life. The Dani Johnson Show.
I love it.
Did you do it? Did you do what we just talked about? Like, wait, Dani, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Did you go and look on your Facebook page, on your wall, and see what you've been talking about? Have you gone and seen how maybe others might be perceiving your post? I hope you have, because you actually can determine how you want the world to perceive you, all based on what you're writing on Facebook. Earlier when I had my coworker with me, Raven, she helps me with our Facebook page, helps our whole company actually with our Facebook page. And by the way, if you haven't come over to that page, it's Dani Johnson Live. Again, that's D-A-N-I Johnson Live. And there is a free book on there available. If you go to that page and you haven't been there before, we've got a free book. It's called First Steps to Wealth. It's my story of how I went from homeless to multimillionaire. 23 years ago, I was a homeless woman, started a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth, and within 2 years, I made my first million. I've learned a lot since that time. I made a lot of financial mistakes, even ended up in a crazy severe amount of debt. How we bailed ourselves out of that foolishness and have been able to create wealth, which again, wealth is accumulated, riches run from you. My first 10 years, made lots of money, spent it all. And so I share the strategies that we had to use, as well as the strategies that helped me to start that business initially. So anyway, so if you go to that page, you can download an ebook copy of First Steps to Wealth. If you'd like to have the hard copy of it, you just can dial our office, which is 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. 888-203-8255. Now back to you succeeding with social media. We've talked about a lot of things on this show that was really devoted to kind of opening your eyes from the perspective as a business person, the opportunities you have to use Facebook. We heard all kinds of stories, right? One of our clients actually called in and she did $28,000 worth of sales in one day from a post on Facebook. And so she learned some powerful skill sets that we teach on how to be able to do that, as well as we've heard about people losing their jobs and fathers being concerned. Me sharing a personal story about my son who got trapped in a Facebook web of all kinds of sexual conversations way too early in life. So anyway, we talked about a lot of things, but the thing that Raven and I mentioned was about that we've been able to raise millions of dollars on Facebook. We have found that Facebook actually has been more powerful than any other form of media out there with trying to help families who truly are in need. You know what I mean by need, right? You know, we live such spoiled lives, don't we? We have everything. We've got washing machines to wash our clothes. We've got timers set on our coffee makers that wake us, that the coffee starts getting brewed while our alarm is going off in our bedrooms. We have hot water. We do, and we even complain when somebody else got in the shower before we did and used up all the hot water on a cold winter morning. We have so many things that we have to be grateful for, right? We've got refrigerators packed with food, and it keeps the food cold, and freezers, and then some people even have outdoor freezers. And then there are people like this grandmother that I met who has made a home for herself. Actually, it was a tent. Literally, it was just like a tent. And it was made from old banana branches, dead banana branches. You can only imagine how many bugs would be inside of there. And it was just literally like a one-man tent. Come on, you remember when you're a kid and, or you remember the Charlie Brown movies, you put up a string between two trees, you throw a tarp over it, and you put your sleeping bag right there on the ground. Well, that would be a 5-star resort compared to what this grandmother lives in every single day. And so what's so beautiful about what we've seen on Facebook is people who have responded to great need. And not only that, but being able to share your heart that you have for other people who are suffering. I mean, this woman literally just made it kind of right next to a road. That's where she built this little tent out of old, dried up banana leaves. And that's what she calls home because she has no property. And why? An earthquake hit her village, Kadwa, Haiti. And when that earthquake hit that village, it destroyed her family. She lost her children, her grandchildren. There's nobody to take care of her now. Her relatives were killed in this terrible disaster that happened. And you know what the sad part is? Is that this place, Kadwa, Haiti, is voiceless. They don't have any transportation to get outside of that village. Do you understand? They don't have televisions. They don't have radios. They don't have the internet. They don't have cell phones. They don't have anything. They also don't have food or clean water. And so there's no way they can get help. But God guided a team of us to go into this very deep place and to find these people who've just been left, dying one at a time. So as we've shared these stories on Facebook and given people a link and an opportunity to help, because it only costs $6,400 to build that grandmother a home that she, I'm sure, will then allow other grandmothers to come and live with her, that will give her clean water. We're building 2 water supplies in this Kadwa, Haiti, 2 water supplies that will feed 2,000 people for the rest of their lives. You could literally give $100 and feed somebody clean, fresh water that will not kill them, but clean, pure water that will sustain them for the rest of their lives. And what? It's $100. Come on, you've got $100 worth of food going bad in your fridge right now. You have hundreds of dollars of clothes in your closet, some of which you haven't even worn yet. Not to mention the tools that are in the garage. Come on, think about it. How many thousands of dollars in shoes do you have? How many thousands of dollars in Burger King, McDonald's, and Kentucky Fried Chicken wrappers are in just the back of your car? It's crazy when we think about how much waste we have, and yet this precious grandmother who has nothing every day waking up to the loss of losing her husband, children, and grandchildren, she was the only survivor, and nobody to feed her, nobody to help. But you and I could be the voice to the voiceless. And that's where Facebook I have found to be very powerful, because Facebook has given us the opportunity to be the voice to the voiceless. If you want to help us, just help us. Go to kingsransom.org. Right on the homepage, it says Kadwa Haiti. It's big, right in the center. Click on that and do what you can. $5, $10, $100, but more importantly, get on Facebook and share the story I just shared with you. You'll know that you're doing something good, and get other people to give for that cause. Maybe you and your Facebook friends could all sponsor one house, or help to take care of 5 people of the 2,000 people that need clean water, each with $100. If you go get 5 people, we got $600 going towards helping 6 people have clean, fresh water for the rest of their lives. Isn't that awesome? And that's the power of social media. We've been able to give millions of dollars to causes like Kadwa Haiti, people who are in need. When earthquakes happen, we jump right on it and have utilized a powerful medium to do good in the world. Instead of posting naked photos or what we're having for lunch, or gossip about somebody else, or ranting about something you cannot do, you can use your influence and your time to make a difference in the world. So if we've been able to raise millions using Facebook, what could you do with Facebook? I encourage you, join us on this adventure. Look at our examples. See how we're posting each week about something like Kadwa Haiti. And you start doing that, and you start showing that you have a heart and you care for people. And it's important that people see that. This is Dani Johnson. I hope that today's show was helpful and beneficial to you. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.